Welcome. I'm Janel, a career mindset coach and actor.
And I'm Amanda Dubois, a self-authenticity and prosperity life coach and actor as well. And we're your co-host of Mindset Artistry YouTube channel,
where we teach you the art of discovering and using your mindset
to build a career and life you desire.
We're going to be talking about confidence. And people think there's certain people that are born with confidence and others that are not, and it's not true. So this is Mindset Artistry. Welcome, welcome. I'm Janel, a career mindset coach and an actor. And on the other side, we have...
Yes, I'm Amanda Dubois, a self-authenticity and prosperity life coach and actor as well. Yes.
Yes. And hello to everybody that is joining. Please give me some hearts if there is a point in your life where you didn't feel confident. We want you to be interacting. We want you to ask us questions, and we want to know that you're here. So please send me some hearts if there's ever a time in your life you're like, oh, I don't know, I didn't feel so confident. And maybe eventually you guys will share what that's about. But I'd really like to jump into this. So first of all, people will look at me and they will be very shocked that I lack confidence at times. They really shocked. And I guess it makes sense, right? Because I'm an actor and actors seem to be so confident. We go out there and perform in front of strangers and just really put ourselves out there. But the truth is, most of my life, I was not confident at all. Nobody wanted to date me. Boys didn't even talk to me till I was 16 years old. I was kind of quiet in class, always did well in school, could be really outgoing around my friends. But it took a long time for me to build my confidence. And so if you're watching now and you feel like, I'm really annoyed, I don't feel confident, don't feel bad, you're not alone. And the only way that you truly will build confidence is through experience. And so I was talking with Andrew about this. A lot of us get an idea or something we get excited about or something that lights us up that we want to try. So for Amanda and I, it's acting, producing, coaching, modeling. Okay. And a lot of our clients, we talk to them and they know what they want to do. And you all know what you want to do. You know what lights you up. The idea that comes to you doesn't come to me. We all have different desires for a reason. And like I say, if you have the desire, your dream is within reach. It's put in you for a reason. You're meant to go for it. We're meant to go after these things that fulfill us and bring us joy so that we can also give back. It's like this beautiful circle thing that happens. So the true way to build confidence is to go ahead and try that thing. And that's a lot of times where our clients get stumped and many times ourselves. And the sad thing about this, and Amanda and I kind of talked about this the other day, but it can be really limiting whenever you won't try things because you think you have to have confidence first. You're totally missing out on life because you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I'll be judged. People might make fun of me. What if I fail? And part of confidence is knowing that you probably will fail and being okay with that. So we'll get a little bit more. Most people aren't born with natural confidence. It is instilled in you usually by other people. And then eventually, hopefully you're taught to find it for yourself. And it really breaks my heart. And I'm sure Amanda too, when we talk to people and they're really excited about what they want to do, but then whenever they go to take action, they get really fearful. And so Amanda, I would love if you could give an example of a time where you did not feel confident about trying something. And then you went ahead and did it anyway, and you were scared. You had to have courage to try it. And then you realized, oh, well, now that I've done it, it's not so bad and I can get better at this. So I'd love if you could give an example of that.
Sure. I have two ideas, and I think one is a bit like a physical activity and the other is a creative outlet. And so as actors, and if you tune into our episode with Mel Mack, I talked about the idea of feeling very limited as an actor because I was told early on to not pursue anything else but being an actor. Don't be in a relationship, focus only on acting. Don't leave New York, like you might lose out on an opportunity. Don't go anywhere on pilot season. And it distilled a lot of fear within me because I was afraid of missing out on an opportunity. And in reality, I missed out on an opportunity to live my life, to find the color in it so I can bring into my art, to find my voice and my creativity. And so I had a beautiful friend when I worked in the corporate world, Melody Cooper, who was a writer and also an actor, and she happened to be working in corporate world, and she was like a director. And we started talking, and she was like, "Oh, anyone can write." I was like, "No, I can't. Like, I don't have the ability to write. I don't think I never went to school for it." She was like, "Neither did I. You can write. Like, you have a story that needs to be told, so write it." So I was hesitant for a really long time. I guess it took me about a month to actually sit down and write it, because I literally was in the state of mind of scarcity, of imposter syndrome, all the things that were coming up, fear, like, "Oh, I don't write. I'm grammatically incorrect," and all these things. And so when I finally sat down, and I was like, what do I gotta lose? No one can possibly read. No one has to read it. But I'm just gonna write it anyway. And so I sat down, I did it, and I wrote a beautiful short story that I love to this day. And I've shared it with many people, and I shared it with her, and I was like, oh my gosh, I actually have a story to tell. And here's the beauty about the writing and just any creative outlet, is that you're not going to be perfect the first time. And that's absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay. Painters even sketch their art, their painting and their canvas. So it takes time. And so when I did it, I just felt such a relief, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have the ability to do anything that I choose to or want to. And so that was a big moment for me of like, well, why not? And after that, I decided to produce, and I would like produce with friends and be behind the camera instead of in front, and really explore this industry in a way that I limited myself in thinking that, oh, I just want to be in front of the camera and that's it, and that's all I can do. And like, you have to have specific background or knowledge or educational support or someone in the industry to be able to do those things. And so that was a moment for me that I realized, you don't have to be perfect. And sometimes the confidence may not be there, but once you like let it out, the confidence builds, because you realize you have a voice that matters, you have a story that matters in whatever art or creative outlet that you choose to do. And then the second was jumping out of a plane, a perfectly good plane, skydiving, and tethered to a person 10,000 feet in the air. It might have been 20, I don't remember. But yes, sitting on the floor, tethered to a man, and jumping like this in the air and like freaking out. And I was like, never mind, I'm not doing it. I'm good. Guys, I'm good. Like, and the wind is thrashing because I had like the door open. I was like, no, I'm good. You can I'll stay in the plane. And honestly, when the person was tethered to me, they're like, all right, we're gonna do this. I'm like, no, I'm not ready. And I'm standing out at the edge of the door, and I'm looking down, and I'm like panicking. He's all right, we're gonna go on 3, 1. He jumped, and I was like, screaming. And I still have the video to this day, because he's recording with his like wrist camera, and he's like in my face, and I'm like, like screaming like a mad person, like, I'm gonna die. Obviously I didn't, so that is literally like taking the leap of faith and trusting. Thankfully the parachute worked that day, and but it was a beautiful opportunity, and I would do it again. Hella scary for sure, but that moment of when the parachute opens, there's a stillness, and there's like, you look out and you just see infinite possibilities, and the serenity of like, oh my gosh, birds fly every day, and like the clouds and the sun and the ground, like you realize how amazing this world and this earth really is. And it was incredible. So take the leap.
Take a little leap. Well, you're definitely more confident after that, I'm sure. You survived that. We were just interviewing a lovely lady today who you will eventually meet, that will be on our podcast in the future, who was in 2 plane crashes or something.
7.
All right. Stay tuned for that. Moving on to the next point. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. So what I really want everyone to take away from today is that you are the only person that can get in your way, and that's it. So we constantly want to look at other people. Oh, I can't be confident because they'll judge me. I can't be confident because I can't be as good as them now or never. I can't be confident because I've got nothing good about here and everybody else has all the things. And Amanda and I will always hold you accountable for that. You're just going to constantly get in your own way. You have to focus on yourself and what you can control. And you have to move through the fear, because you have to be very courageous and be ready to fail. I can also give, hello, A funny example, I learned to ski again 3 years ago. And when I was 10, I went on a school skiing trip and I twisted my ankle at the top of a mountain. And I was embarrassed. I had to get back on the middle school bus, trying to enter middle school, being like a new cool kid. And I was the girl that had to be carted down in the snow with like the medical people, and I was like in the back in the sled or whatever. And it wasn't cool. And then 3 years ago, I met Andrew, and Andrew's good at everything. And all of him and his cool Pocono friends can ski really well. And I was really nervous and I did not feel confident because literally these guys are athletes in everything they do. They're just so athletic and they're so good at everything they do. But luckily, I'm pretty competitive, especially against men and boys. And I was like, fine, I am going to do this. First day skiing 3 years ago, I looked like a helicopter. I am all limbs. My legs were like, just like flying, like I'm rolling down the hill. I must have fell like the entire first day. And I was just getting so mad. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do it again. I looked terrible. And then now 3 years later, I didn't give up. And it was scary. It is scary going down the hills, especially on the East Coast because they're pure ice. So you have to learn how to really carve on ice here. But then this past winter, a few months ago, I went to Vermont and I was able to go up 5,000 feet and come down on that hill. And it was beautiful. And I only fell once because I did a jump and I landed the jump. And then it was going to take me down a double black. And I was like, no, but come on. I showed up and turned out. First day skiing, you made it down a blue without falling. Did I, Andrew? I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly. But the point is, that's a physical example. But I wasn't confident. But then after I completed that, and even just Vermont a couple months ago, but even, I think I did like a terrain park the first season. No, not Superhuman. That's you, honey. I love you. I did a terrain park and you do jumps. A little, like, it was a little bunny jump, but I did that the first season. And I was like, I'm a badass. So it was cool. But anything I've tried, guys, I am always screaming. I am always afraid. When I worked for the Travel Channel, it was funny. They called me the fearless host or the fearless traveler. But I was afraid to try everything, but I did it anyway. And that's the point. And after you have these experiences, then you start to build confidence. So please stop getting in your own way. Stop letting fear of failing and people seeing you and yourself, you know, I mean, it's hard, like with auditions. I get really mad if you work on it a long time and then it takes longer than you expect to get it. But then a great reframe is, okay, so I failed. Well, what can I learn from this? What can I do better? I don't know. Amanda helped me with an audition yesterday. I felt okay about it. I still felt like, I don't feel 100% confident about that. And in the past, I would have been like, oh man, I'm going to be really nervous about the next audition, or I don't really want to try again because I don't want to feel bad about myself. No, get over it. I asked myself, okay, so what do you need to do to feel more confident? I just need more reps in certain areas of acting technique that I don't feel the most confident in. So embrace the awkwardness, embrace feeling a failure. And if other people are judging you, great, they can have a good life. I don't know. You know, you're out there living, falling down ice hills, but they'll still be stuck at the bottom while you're 5,000 feet in the air, living your best life and seeing the view. Okay. So Amanda, I would love to know what you have to add to that to encourage people to move through the fear and what to do in the reframe to build their confidence and to keep going, because it's always going to be a little hard. New things and old things too. New heights.
I would say celebrate yourself a bit more than you normally have done in the past. I think we get caught up in the idea of celebrating ourselves when it's big, grandiose wins or big things that people can take note of. And it's the idea of like celebrating your ability, celebrating that you're doing it, celebrating that you can. And I know it sounds sometimes like stupid. Like, why would I celebrate something that like I woke up today? Like, that's a great thing. That means you have an opportunity today to do something, right? So celebrate yourself. I think too often we get so caught up in the idea of the bad, the worst thing that could possibly happen. Because, you know, especially as creatives, like we want the job Thank you for joining us. We want the job. We want to collaborate. We want to create, and we get in a state of desperation. And then we cause ourselves fear of the lack of, fear of not having, the fear of not getting it. And so then we live in that. And it starts exuding and feeding into your art. It feeds into your interactions with yourself, with people around you. And then people are like, oh, something a little off. Oh, she's really great. They're really great, but there's just something off about it. Okay, we'll go to the next person. And that is that little energy, that doubt, fear, anxiety, that you allowed to control you and overcome you and shield you from letting yourself be free in your art. And so don't let the fear control you. You take fear along with you. You take the anxiety along with you. You acknowledge it and then go, okay, I know you're here. Thank you for showing up for me, because that means that this is something that either I enjoy or I have to do or I need to learn from. And I'm going to take you with me, but I'm still going to execute it, even though I may fail. So what, you fail? Any successful business person out there will tell you they failed 20,000 times, 100,000 times. They've got rejected many times. They've gotten many no's, many no's. Many, right? Too many to count sometimes, and then, but they didn't let it stop them. They used it as fuel. They used it as a part of their art. And so I would say is, in all of that, remember who you are. Remember, and Nell always says, you remember the why. Speak to your heart and ask yourself, do I love this? Do I want this? And if you do, find the passion, find the love, treat yourself with kindness, and take it one step at a time. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to have you don't. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. And this is this false facade out there that you have to be perfect and get everything right, and failure shouldn't exist, and everybody has a beautiful life. It's absolute BS. It's absolute BS. People will show you the good, but they won't show you the difficult times. So with that, rounded up is celebrate yourself, embrace the fear, the anxiety, because right behind that is the confidence, is that lion that's roaring and ready to be unleashed from the cage and show themselves and their mane and shake it out and go, look at me, everybody. Look at my talent,
Yes.
So,
and find a buddy, I was going to say, because Amanda and I are doing this whole podcast, live coaching, mindset, artistry community thing. We're just going to do it. And we don't know, in the beginning, we didn't really know what we're doing, and we're learning as we go. And I'm really grateful for Amanda and the accountability we have for each other. And we're like, okay, that didn't work. Oh, don't like how that looked. Well, that sounded a little funny, or that wasn't a good idea. But we just, we keep going. We're like, oh, this is great. And that's a thing. And I know this wouldn't be what it is now, and I wouldn't be where I am now if we didn't have each other in that way. And so you can build your confidence by having an accountability partner in a way, or someone to just kind of pick you up when you're down, and you can be like, no, we can do this, because that's very human. It's very natural. And we had a wonderful interview with a lovely lady, Jen at revealing.her, and she's a yoga teacher and all things fabulous. And she was just talking about how community is so important, and, having hi, Darlene, an accountability partner in a way, because, maybe I'm having a down day and you're up, or the other way around. And so when you are really lacking confidence, you have that other person that can really see who you truly are whenever you're too in your head. And so
I will say this is that sometimes we get so caught up in, again, the failure or the not having, that our confidence disappears, but it's actually still there. So sometimes by letting it out and talking it out with somebody who's just going to be a listening board, not there to say, well, you should do this, that, and the third, just a listening board to let it out, and kind of, I always say the purging of the thoughts. Letting it out allows it to not take up space. To not take up space in your mind, to not take up space in your body, to breathe into the body. Yeah, right. You're regurgitating it out. You know what I mean? So I would say like find someone. It doesn't have to be like a friend. It could be a supportive community. There's so many Facebook communities out there that are maybe anonymous, and that's absolutely okay. You know, you have Mindset Artistry. We're always here. If you ever need anybody, we're here. We encourage it. So I would just say that you're not alone, and there is a community for you. Take your time and be careful what community you also choose to be a part of, because by indulging your fears and anxieties and saying that out loud, you're also in a vulnerable place. And some people out there will intentionally try to harm you because you're putting it out there. So, be wary about it. And that's why I said, you do your due diligence, like you join our podcast. You understand that we are here for you. We're never judging. We're always supporting you. We're going to be your accountability partner. And so trust that. Do your research, ask people in the community, and all those things. Social is awesome. Search hashtags on Instagram and find people who have the same interests.
That's a great idea.
Social, a great idea. I love that. Love that. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Justy.
And
Justy.
hello. Yes, thank you. Justy. And hello, Lindy.
Justine is my beautiful, amazing cousin who moved out to LA and is living her best life.
Oh, so cool. Well, we're going to be there soon. We're going to be there this week. Hello, LA, the East coming to the West side. Yes. And so just don't look to others for confidence. You're not going to wake up one day and have it. We all are more confident in some things than others. So also springboard off of that. There are many times Amanda and I are coaching people and they might feel kind of weird about something, afraid about, can they be successful? And we ask you, what are some examples of the past where you didn't think you could do something and then you found out you could and you succeeded and you're killing it now? But remembering there was a moment with something that you're totally killing now and you're on top of it that you were like, I don't know where to start. So identifying those things for yourself can help you build confidence. And you'll find it. And don't take in any judgment from other people. Like I said, assume people will project stuff on you, because let me tell you something, when you're putting yourself out there and people see you're having that courage, they're jealous of that courage and they're going to want to take you down. And I don't think it's people that like people are bad. I would say it's just like the ego trying to protect them and they're not healing themselves. And then they're just like, no, you can't. No, you're coming down with me. Love and light. Good luck over there. I'm going to stay in my lane. And just remember your why. Really identify your why, like Amanda said, and know what you want. Amanda's a prosperity and authenticity coach, and she's really amazing at really helping people identify what they truly want and who they really are when they take away all the noise of what everybody else is telling them about themselves. And when you know that and you look at that, oh, we love you, you're amazing. And when you write that out and you can write it down, you can say it to yourself every morning, whatever works for you. But when you really identify, like, what do I really want? Who am I? And you make a plan. And we always say, be flexible with your plan, go with the flow and follow your intuition. But when you're just like, this is what I'm doing, it's going to be easier to have the courage to be fearless and go forward and stumble and build the confidence that you need in something, because you're not going to be able to hear anybody anymore, because you're only going to be able to hear yourself. And that's what we want for you. So we have to jump off of here. But Amanda, if you have anything to add before we close up, and then talk a little bit about coaching, and we'll jump off.
I would just say give yourself the time and grace to explore your confidence, to explore your truth, to explore anything that you are seeking to achieve or have or be in your life. Give yourself time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not. Even you can look at all the richest people, all the successful people. It doesn't happen overnight. You don't have a hustle and bustle that happen behind the scenes, the many years of sweat and tears and sleepless nights and sleeping in their car and all these things. You don't know. So, never assume that they have the life that you want. Always dig within yourself to find out what you actually want, what you desire, and what you deserve, because you're worth everything that you desire. You're worth everything that you want. And trust me, when you start recognizing your worth, when you start giving light and love to your worth, people and the right people will start attracting to you. And the people that were either succubus, they were taking your light from you, they were only being around you to get something or validate themselves, they will dwindle away because you won't have any time or energy to entertain them. And it either will bring you closer together because they realize they got things to work on, or they'll just slowly drift apart. And that's absolutely okay because they're no longer in your journey. They're no longer a part of your path of who you are meant to be and what you're meant to achieve. That's what I'll say.
What are your thoughts about this episode?
Drop it in the comments and let us know what you want to dive into next.
Subscribe, like, share, and click the link below to book a free consultation. And
We'll see you next time.